Alright, the newest episode of Gridiron Heights just came out, so let's watch it.
Hi to London, I come from the early US of A.
London loves mediocre Minshew!
Hey y'all, I fixed it.
Gardner Minshew has solved Brexit.
Everyone loves my backup more than me. I wish someone could relate.
Well. How did I handle being hurt? Well, you stole my city's heart?
By hunting!
In prayer, of course. You just gotta relax.
Telling you, Wentz proves that every day we should have stuck with Chip Kelly and taken Mary.
Not listen to local talk radio. And...
Whoa.
Guys, you gotta catch that.
Sorry!
You're not gonna replace me, Brendan Allen. Is it Brendan? It's Brandon.
I replaced my backup, no problem, see? Ah!
Look, it's a tense time for everyone around the league.
The haters have f***ing won.
How dare you ask me that about crap?
No, I asked if you had a message for the team.
Not a question, but the way you hand the ball to McCaffrey is amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't rush back, Nick.
Take that.
Why do they catch it for him?
Simpler when he does
I
it!
got my big Nick energy back. QB1 and Duval.
Yeah, we're all gonna start again.
So let's do a quick recap of what happened during all of this. As first off, we have Gardner Minshew. They're talking about London a little bit, as this episode's primarily around Nick Foles and Jacksonville Jaguars, and about quarterbacks getting their positions replaced in general. So we see a bunch of that, and we see Nick Foles start trying to work his way back, as London loves Gardner Minshew, loves Jacksonville, blah, blah, blah. They give a little hint to Deshaun Watson, but nothing much. They're in love with Gardner Mustache Minshew. But then we go on. He goes to Wentz, and they go duck hunting. Well, duck hunting is kind of the term used for quarterbacks. And they go there. There's a bunch of other quarterbacks there. Mr. Trubisky, Cam Newton, and can't remember some other names. But there are some other quarterbacks there as well. And let's just say, in the end, we see Nick Foles. He's back to full strength. Carson Wentz gets jealous. And that's primarily what happens. But now it's time for a scene-by-scene breakdown. Alright, we start out here with Sean Con Air. And then we see Gardner Minshew coming off and has this little baby voice that they give all the rookie quarterbacks. And of course, we have these signs out in front that says left to right, you've convinced us this is real football. It kind of makes it seem like you've convinced the U.S. that this is the real football, kind of like that kind of. But then we move on. It says give us the London Chargers. And on the signs, it has a plug that's like a charger, not like the actual charger. It's quite funny. Then we have the UK loves the Jags, of course, because they win there all the time. It's kind of like home field advantage for them, except for this last weekend. Then we have an NFL team. Here would be a logistical headache, but it's fun to talk about, which is pretty much true. It'd be great if an NFL team would go to London. Everybody would love it. It's just logistically, it can't happen. Pretty much. Then we move on to the Rich Eisen thing, where we have Rich Eisen talking about on the whatever channel the London game is on, and it's Rich Eisen, one of 20 London broadcasters. The quotes down below says Deshaun is amazing, but Minshew has a mustache and Jags lost. Of course, mustache Minshew. Mustache Magic Minshew, but the magic kind of ran out recently. Then on his coffee cup, it actually says, I love running in suits, which I thought was quite hilarious. Then we move on, where it has Gardner Minshew that changed us the soccer ball to the football, which, it was kind of stupid, but whatever. Then we have Minshew's 4 turnovers, convinced Parliament to turn over a new leaf. Then we move on, where it has Jackie where Nick Foles sitting on the couch. It has the playbook right there. It says Jackie. It's the new trick play. At least it's making fun of it. And then we move on where it has the pillows that spell BDN. And I'm pretty sure if you're smart enough, you can figure out what that spells. It's Big Nick. Then we move on. He goes to Wentz's house because Minshew's backup quarterback. Yeah, you get the joke. And his house in front of it has Beware of Dog Max, of course referring to Jason Peters. And then we move on to where we reach the gun range, where it's the we can still run range, but not really, because the quarterback's but it's pretty much like reference to sitting ducks, where a wide receiver is kind of like wide open, and they need to practice their targets. So it's pretty much where wide receiver is wide open, but they're making fun of them because they can't hit the wide receiver. I couldn't quite catch what was on the radio. My captions wasn't working. But if you guys could, I'd like to hear what he actually said on the radio down below, because Wentz had to turn it off. He said don't listen to them. And we had Carson Wentz there, Joe Flacco there, and Mitchell Trubisky. And once Mitchell Trubisky moves, we have the hunting lounge rules, where it says pistol and shotgun formations allowed. Check your surroundings. It's pretty much saying double check your surroundings before you shoot. Pretty much referencing to how they always don't double check their surroundings and then get sacked. But that ain't the point. No look shotgun frowned upon. Of course, that's a reference to Mahomes. No look passes. Must shoot more than 5 yards downfield, even though all of them pretty much do 3-yard dump downs. And new members must be bubble screened. Reference to how most of them just throw bubble screens in the first place. Then we move on where we have the black cat. Of course, black cat's in the background actually during that one. If you look in the very back, it's quite hilarious. Of course, that black cat is the reference to the black cat that made an appearance and made a famous scene in the Monday Night Football game with the Cowboys and the Giants. Then we move on where we have Baker Mayfield. And of course, you know, this last week he went on a rampage, and the quote says in front of it, breaking, things aren't great. Then we move on one more time to Tom Brady's interview, and the quote in front of that says, Patriots lose after playing real team. And then we move on to Kyle Allen's press conference, where it says Kyle tops weekly Allen rankings, and you see Cam Newton off to the side. He's real frustrated about that. Then we move on to the scene where Nick Foles comes back, pretty much. Foles throws it, and the wide receiver catches it. Of course, the Eagles wide receivers catch it. Wentz is quite jealous because of this, because for some reason they can't catch Wentz balls, but they can catch Foles. And that's pretty much a joke in there. And of course, Foles just starts unloading. Then we have Andy Dalton come in and says, we can all eventually start somewhere. Of course, Andy Dalton's not starting somewhere. That'd be hilarious, though, if he did. So, that is what I caught on this week of Gridiron Heights. I want to hear down below if you guys caught anything that I didn't, any references or anything. I just want to hear it. And, of course, if you guys have another suggestion for a sports video for me, I'd like to hear that down below as well. And your suggestion may just end up being one of the next videos. And, of course, thanks for watching. Click those links down below to Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and Patreon. And, of course, just make sure to keep the sports week flowing throughout the day.